Good morning everybody and welcome back to the channel. In recent time, the Reverse Retro 2.0 madness definitely took over, but let's not forget, we are not only talking about hockey jerseys here, but about hockey in general. And as the Christmas break is approaching, only 2 days of matches left, today and tomorrow. Before the Christmas break, I wanted to do a video with 32 teams and 32 thoughts, one about every team at the Christmas break, and have a look at the season as it has developed right now. We will do that in reverse order of the standing. So, let's get it on. Alright, let's go. 32 teams, 32 thoughts. Christmas edition 2022. Let's start off with the Chicago Blackhawks. The Hawks, really bad this year. And I think way worse than expected. They were expected to be in a rebuild and be not that good, but that bad, hell. And I think the way the players are playing right now, they might get less of a return than they had expected when they trade off some players at the deadline, even for Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews. Anaheim, clearly as well, still in a rebuild and way worse than expected. Also, like Chicago. What's up? They have a great core with Steele and Zegras, with Jamie Drysdale. Maybe the rest of the team is not working as good. I don't know why. Columbus. Hell, what a nightmare. What's going on in Columbus? Goaltending's not working, defense is not working, offense is not working. Reminds me a lot of Philadelphia last year. Arizona. Opposite. They are, I think, way better than expected. With the road-heavy schedule they had up to this point, go to a points percentage over 400. Not bad. And yeah, Mullet Arena. Unexpectedly, but it works. Smaller building, closer to the fans, more intensity. Yeah, Arizona, they are on a good way. San Jose. So we are back to the nightmares. Except Erik Karlsson, maybe a little Logan Couture and Thomas Hertl, nothing else is working. I have no idea where this team is heading to. They do not have the deepest talent pool. They are, I think, the team that needs Connor Bedard the most. And they need him right now. Oh, he's not available right now. San Jose, yeah, they are already waiting for the draft. Philadelphia, a little bit better than last year, especially at the beginning of the season. Now they came back to earth. But a team managed by John Tortorella will always put up a good fight. And I expect Philly to stay competitive in every game. They might not win that much, but they will have fun. Vancouver. Oh my god. I think Vancouver for me is the biggest disappointment in the season so far. They have a really good team, but they can't put it together. I have no idea why. Of course now with Thatcher Demko, their goaltender, being out does not help. But even with him it did not work. I have no idea what's going on in Vancouver. Ottawa. Expected to be better as well, and they are definitely better than their record right now. Being in every game, being competitive in every game. Of course, yeah, they miss Norris, they miss Stützle right now. A little bit of bad luck. They could be so much better with a little more luck. Nashville, after a very good start in Prague and then some not that good games on the way. Meanwhile, they got back to 500 at 14, 13 and 4 right now. Let's see if that's enough to make the playoffs in the West. The West may be a little bit easier than the East, but even with this record, I doubt that Nashville will jump into the playoffs. Montreal, a team committed to a rebuild, and I think they will sell off at the deadline, but they're doing way better than expected. Caulfield, Suzuki, this just works so good. Let's see what young players they get in this year's draft, or they already have in the pipeline, because they are not just a few, that this team could be dangerous in years to come. St. Louis. They are the streakiest team by far this season. Huge winning streaks, huge losing streaks. In the end, they turn out to be right now at 16, 16 and 1, so at 500. You never know what to expect from them. When they're hot, they're really hot. When they're cold, they're really cold. Of course, the injury bug has hit them as well, but I had expected them way better than they are right now, and at least not that streaky in the negative way. Stay with the mixed bags. Florida. They had very good games, but they had such poor streaks. I have no idea what to make out of Florida. Yeah, they definitely miss Mackenzie Weegar, they miss Jonathan Huberdeau, and right now Matthew Tkachuk cannot cover for what these two guys had brought to the team last year. He is very good, yeah, I think he is their best player, but replacing a 100-point guy like Huberdeau and a defenseman like Weegar, that's too much of an ask for him. Buffalo, a team above 500 right now, 16-14-2. And they are one of the funniest teams to watch. If you haven't seen a Buffalo game this year, watch one. These guys are great. Either they lose really bad or they win really, really good. A little bit of a mixed bag, but yeah, a team that just is about to come out of a rebuild. They are so fun to watch, and I expect them maybe not in the playoffs this year, but starting next season, I will pick Buffalo in the playoffs. Up next, Detroit. Also a team that's about to come out of a rebuild. Maybe one step behind Buffalo. I'm not sure about that. Maybe about at the same level. They're also fun to watch. This is really a good team in the making. And they will be definitely in the race for a playoff spot next year. Maybe not this year. Maybe something is still missing. But with Ville Husso, they picked up a real good goaltender. That will be a rock for them in years to come. Calgary, and we're back to the disappointments so far. The Flames, they are above 500, yeah. They have, but can clearly see that Huberdeau is not the player he was in Florida last year. Until this point, the chemistry is not as good as it was in Florida when he played with Barkov. There is, of course, the possibility that this will change over the season, but right now, a team that I picked to make the Stanley Cup final is, again, out of the playoffs. Let's see if it remains this way. I personally think no, but you never know. Washington, after a real cold start, now they turn it around. Ovi is still at 800 goals. I think it is 4 games now, maybe 5. I think it's 4, yeah, that he's waiting for his goal to tie Gordie Howe at 801. He will definitely get it sooner or later, maybe even before the Christmas break. The rest of the team, they are getting healthier. Wilson and Backstrom are about to come back. Let's see what happens with Washington thereafter. They are on a very good way right now, and I think they should end up top 3 in the Metro. Edmonton, the Oilers, 18-14-2 right now. One up, one down was the term for quite a while this season. McDavid having a fantastic season. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, very, very strong. Depth scoring showed up last night in Dallas. There they were very good. But some depth scoring over the course of the season has to show up more frequently. You cannot only rely on McDavid, Draisaitl and Nugent-Hopkins. This will not work. Their goaltending, Jack Campbell, right now a nightmarish of a season for him. He was so good last year in Toronto. What's happening? A goaltender changing teams should be no problem. Obviously, with him it is. The Islanders, another team that I think up to now played way better than expected. They are now at 18-13-2, and right now they are in a playoff spot, in the wildcard spot number 2. Let's see if they can stay there, because Washington will keep on pushing, and I expect one of the Atlantic teams, maybe Detroit, Buffalo, or Ottawa, maybe to make a push towards the spot. Remains to be seen, but the Islanders, up to now, it's a very good season. Colorado, the reigning Stanley Cup champion Avalanche, hit so bad by the injury bug. McKinnon out right now. Landeskog has not played a game this season. Bowen Byram has not played a game this season. These are so good core players that even this team, with very good depth scoring, cannot compensate. After McKinnon went out, I thought, yeah, they will have a hard time right now, and it turned out to be true. Let's see when he can come back, but the Avalanche are still in a good position to make the playoffs. And when McKinnon comes back, all bets are off again. Next up, Seattle, 18-10-3. And I'm wearing Seattle because I think this team is the most positive surprise so far this season. They had only 60 points last season, 62. around that. Right now, they are on a pace for almost 100 points. This is quite a turnaround for the Kraken. They are fun to watch. The players have found their chemistry, and Seattle also will have cap space next year. This will be a very attractive location for free agent next year. Minnesota is next, 19, 11, and 2. Quite a winning streak up now. They have, I think, won 7 in a row. After a mediocre start, Kirill Kaprizov and Matt Zuccarello turned this team around again with a surprisingly good Matthew Boldy, who has scored quite a ton in recent time. The Wild are on a very good way, and I expect them to compete for the top spot in the Central this season. Surprisingly, because this cap penalty they have on their backs right now, these over 12 million in cap penalty for the buyouts of Parisi and Suter, and still they're doing good. That's a surprise. And that's also a sign how good Kirill Kaprizov is. Up next, the LA Kings. So far, a very solid season from them at 18, 12, and 5. Good plays by their young guys, good plays by their veterans. The goaltending is a little bit of the question right now. Maybe they found their number one goaltender now in Phoenix Copley, which would be the biggest surprise of them all. Quick is okay. Peterson was really, really bad. That's why he's in the AHL right now to get his game back. And Phoenix Copley is taken over as the starter. Let's see how far they can go with him. Up next, the New York Rangers, the second team I picked to reach the final and the team I picked to win the Stanley Cup. Right now they are in a wild card spot in a very, very solid Metro division, but they're knocking on the door of a third spot with Pittsburgh. So I think the Rangers, we can say right now they should be a safe pick for the playoffs as their play has improved a lot in recent time. Although Igor Shesterkin is not the world beater right now he was last year, maybe he's saving that for the playoffs. Up next, Tampa Bay, the Lightning. 3 times in a row in the Stanley Cup final. Very solid play, although they had 2 bad losses in the last 2 days. In Toronto and in Detroit, especially the one in Detroit, a little bit alarming. But I think we do not have to worry about the Lightning. They will be in the playoffs and they will be hot to make it a dynasty. Let's see if that happens. Next up is Pittsburgh. Sidney Crosby still refusing to get old. Evgeny Malkin doing the same. Chris Letang coming back from a stroke, and he was out for less than 2 weeks. Incredible. These guys are still carrying the team. Solid goaltending, solid defense, very good offense. The Penguins will again not miss the playoffs. Winnipeg, right now second in the Central. Points percentage wise, they would be first. 1 point behind Dallas. And again, the Jets are one of the big surprises. Connor Hellebuck is back being himself, being back to the Selke level goaltender he was a few years ago. After not that good a season last year, he is back. And I think him and the streaks by Josh Morrissey especially, this is what propels the Jets right now. Not too many changes can be good changes for sometimes. Give this core of players another year and they will reward you. Sometimes this happens. This year it does in Winnipeg. So, up to the top 6. 6th right now in the standing is the Dallas Stars, 19, 9, and 6. It's so great to see Roope Hintz, Joe Pavelski, and Jason Robertson on one line. One of the best lines in hockey right now. Although Robertson has problems scoring goals recently, he's only getting assists. But this line is so much fun. The team around them solid. Ottinger and goal, very good. I'm surprised that even Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin are coming back to life. Not playing up to their contracts still, but at least they're not that far off as they were last year. And the Stars right now first in the Central. Good season. Nothing more to say. Toronto, they had this incredible streak of where they went 15-0-2 over a 17 game span. Points in 17 consecutive games. This will propel you to one of the top spots in the Atlantic, and right now they are second. But still 6 points behind the first place team. But yeah, there's time left. Again, there was the talk, this team is not good enough. Matthews has a crisis. I don't think he has, and this team definitely is good enough to rock the regular season. one of the top 3 spots in the Atlantic should be already safe for the Leafs the way they're playing right now. If they don't lose Matthews and Marner due to injury, they should be very good. Let's see what happens in the playoffs. Up next, the New Jersey Devils. Again, very big surprise. This team is so good. They had to be better than last year. The rebuild took long enough. They have a very good core. Young players, talented players. Brad, Hughes, Hischier, with Dougie Hamilton added, with Tatar, who is playing up to his contract right now. And they're still missing Andre Palat, who they got from Tampa in the offseason. They had some pressure. They had to be better than last year. Finally, they are, and it's good to see the Devils back to form again. Carolina, very, very solid season. They're missing Freddie Anderson. Did you know? You didn't? Yeah. Because his replacement, Kochetkov, is so good right now. Defense is great. Offense is good. The Hurricanes just coming the sneaky path to the top spot of the Metro Division. They are a contender. The Vegas Golden Knights, also a little bit hit by the injury bug. Jack Eichel is not playing right now. When they get him back, maybe this will turn around their home record, because they are just 1 game above 500 at home, and they are clearly above 500 on the road. Maybe they lose some games intentionally to not have to start the playoffs at home. Right now, first in the Pacific, and very solid. And finally, number 1 in the league right now with 25-4-2, a record that is so ridiculous. I never thought that Boston would have such a good season. I expected a drop-off from them. I expected them out of the playoffs. My full apologies and my full respect for the elderly guys at the Bruins. They are still up to the pace and they are very, very good. Maybe they do have the potential for the last hurrah. Let's see when the playoffs roll around. But right now, the best team in the league with a ridiculously good home record. Almost perfect. I think they are 15-0-2 at home. Something around that. The Bruins, I tip my hat. They are legit. Okay, that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And when I have a look over there, where there are 2 boxes from Benage Sports, each box contains 6 Reverse Retro 2.0 jerseys. This will be a funny jersey Christmas. See you in 3 days. Have a good day.